Everybody. So, you already know who I am because there's no need to put down my last name. So I'm Skylar, and today I'm doing a history of toothpaste. Now, it's a silly topic to think about, but really the ingredients list hasn't changed all over time. So what is in our toothpaste? We have abrasives, flavors, surfactants, fluorides. So those are the four basic stuffs. So abrasives are like the grindy powder in the toothpaste to actually clean your teeth. Flavors are to make it tasty and to make your breath not smell bad. Surfactants are there to make it foam up and bubble. And fluorides are there to actually protect your teeth. So technically they add this extra layer of
goodness. Tooth goodness.
Yes, tooth goodness on your teeth, but that's not the subject of this. So of course we all know what the purpose of toothpaste is, and actually a bunch of the ingredients used in the past are not good. But if you think about it, then they make sense. So I have fulfilled the history club requirement for having one date, and there it is. Actually, there's more than one date in the presentation.
Yes, I see a second one.
Yes. So the first recorded use of toothpaste was in 5000 BC with the Egyptians. So they use a bunch of powdery stuff, which actually kind of makes sense because oxbows ashes are grindy. Actually, one specific example was in their bread. They didn't actually put bread in their toothpaste, unlike some other people did, which I'll get into later. Back then, with the milling process and the making of bread, a lot of times ashes and bones and other stuff would get into the Egyptian bread. And so when they would eat it would basically act like sort of a toothpaste to grind away stuff. This also caused an extreme tooth wear down, which is very evident if you look at the teeth, but I guess it worked. So, as toothpaste spreads across the world, well actually this is really more tooth powder, it's not really tasty yet. As it spreads around the world, they add some more crunchiness and stuff, bones, oyster shells, powdered charcoal, bark.
Tooth powder with extra crunch.
Yep, and then people also start adding some stuff to make it more tasty. We don't actually know if these tooth powders were supposed to be used for brushes yet. I didn't put brushes on this presentation, but brushes are, even I had sort of the same type. Most of it, it's not really special or anything. Most of it's just, to apply the powder on. So most of the time you can already use the powder with your finger or something, just slide it all over your teeth. So, let's see. I don't know what the next slide is. I think it's that.
You're on the Romans.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Actually, today's ingredients, so some of the powders that we use for our modern toothpaste, let's see. Powdered silica is basically crushed opal, so it's like crushed stones, which is similar to pumice. Calcium carbonate is in eggshells. And let's see. That's the only two I can really remember. But most of our modern ingredients do have their roots in these ancient grindy things. So here's an actual list of stuff. It's very similar to the one before, but again, this is in more modern times, if you will, because now we're no longer 5000 BC, we're in 480. So you can see that some of the flavors have spread around from the east over into Egypt.
I am sorry, watchers, but that jerking of the camera was me sneezing. Continue.
Okay, anyways. Is it? Okay. I forgot to put that slide there. I need to experience you to say my favorite word, neem. So, neem! Anyway, so what is neem in this one? So, in case you haven't been looking around in your health section in the supermarket, there are some toothpastes and toothbrushes that are marketed as fluoride-free and all natural stuff like that. And you can argue about the efficiency or not, but that's not the point. So, in the olden times, around 1600 BC or so, the Indians in the Middle East and the Chinese started chewing on these sticks of wood. So miswak and neem are two plants, two trees specifically, and in their bark they contain chemicals that act like toothpaste. And it's scientifically proven, at least, that it does have a comparable effect, and that the active ingredients in both of these trees act like toothpaste. So, good.
Someone want to close the door?
Actually, though, neem is pretty tasty. I use a toothpaste with some neem in it. Anyways, so tooth powder. So now we get into more modern times. Toothpaste actually doesn't evolve very fast because what can you do with such a basic recipe except make it more tasty and more commercialized, obviously. So We also start seeing some more modern gradients as we get closer to the 1800s. So burned bread, now we actually start putting bread in the tooth powder. Chalk, same thing as calcium carbonate, same thing as the eggshells. Pulverized brick, which works. And well, salt has always been used, but I guess they started using it more. I don't know.
Pulverized brick.
Yeah, cause crunchy.
Tasty.
Tasty. Not really. Anyways, so the 1860s Home Encyclopedia recommends pulverized charcoal, which was also used in the past, and also that, not coincidentally, most of these commercial tooth powders were bad.
I wonder why.
Surprise, they wore down your teeth. So now we started modernizing this stuff, so now we actually have toothpaste, because dentist Peabody starts adding soap in them. Nowadays we don't use soap on our toothpaste, we just use parts of soap, like sodium lauryl sulfate, which is a chemical that makes paste. Colgate makes paste in the jar in the 1850s and actually started producing them in mass quantities in 1873. And we get toothpaste in the tube in 1892, so now we're really looking like modern toothpaste at this point. So now we're actually at toothpaste, not tooth powder anymore. So fluoride starts being added in toothpaste in 1914. If I remember correctly, this might be around the same time that fluoridated water starts showing up. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, so now when the I didn't find the exact date for this, but the American Dental Association, like during this very wide time period, it develops a scale to rank the abrasiveness of toothpaste to make sure that people don't actually destroy their teeth when they're brushing their teeth. And then we start seeing a return back to the all natural craze or whatever with more neem, more herby stuff. And after there's edible toothpaste in 1980s.
Question. What exactly is essential oils and extracts? Does anybody really know?
I don't think, it's another health buzzword. Just think of
So it's a meaningless word.
Basically, but think of like plant oils and stuff like that, if you will.
Now I'm thinking of vegetable oil.
No.
Just like that, which is not the right thing, but
Not
still
vegetable
thinking of
oil.
it.
Anyway, so edible toothpaste in 1987, but not for, well, I mean it's for astronauts really, but I don't think they use it anymore. But anyways, the point of edible toothpaste was that it doesn't foam up, which is great if you're in zero gravity because that means you don't have to choke on bubbles. It's also great if you're like 2 years old because then you don't have to choke on bubbles when you're trying to learn how to brush your teeth. And so I'm not sure if it's still in the market or not, but I bet you can probably find some somewhere. I just don't know where. Anyway, some more pictures. Well, there's not really that many pictures to show because you know what toothpaste looks like, so I just have some old artifacts. This is a tube of toothpaste advertisement. And you can see that there's a lot of buzzwords here. Because it tastes good and keeps the mouth tasting good. Of course, it's antiseptic and all that the most scientific modern tooth cleanser can be. But it's the taste that people like so much, which has kept Dr. Sheffield the leading dentifrice since 1850. Buzzwords. They always sell. And if here's some...
I will say this, the key, like to roll the toothpaste, that would actually be kind of nice if we had that still.
Yeah, but, why bother?
Because I'm lazy.
Actually, though, that would be really good. Yeah. And I think that's it. You have any questions?
Questions, people, anything.
Yes.
We have a question.
So, do you know who was the first company to start putting toothpaste in tubes?
Toothpaste in tubes? No, I do not.
Wow. This is curious.
Colgate was probably definitely one of the first companies to do it, however, because they already had success selling toothpaste already. Any other questions? Okay.
Bye, people.